Okay, y'all set?
Okay, all set.
All right, thank you. Welcome, everybody, to this evening's Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. If I could just do a roll call on our members. Chris?
Here.
Jim? Kyle?
Here.
Rich?
Here. Evening.
All right, this open meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals is being conducted remotely, consistent with the Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. And as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. This order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the zoning board is convening, obviously, by the Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join in. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Just like to remind everything that everyone will try to go through me, the chairman, for any comments during the meeting. We do have a phone number for call-in. It is 1-929-205-6099 for anyone who wishes to call in. All right. First on our agenda this evening is board reorganization. So I'll entertain some discussion on that, if there is any. Maybe a motion.
I'm not fond of change, so I would make a motion to keep everything just exactly the way it is.
All right. We have a motion to not reorganize.
I'll second that motion to not reorganize.
All those in favor? Well, I'll go down the roll call. Chris?
Aye.
Jim? Is that an aye, Jim? Rich?
Aye.
Myself is an aye. All right. Things remain the same.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
Dodged
you.
another bullet.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion then to reopen our hearing on 165 Boston Road.
I'll make a motion to reopen the hearing on 165 Boston Road.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor? Chris?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
Jim? Rich?
Aye.
Kyle?
Aye.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, can anyone else here not hear James or Jim?
I
I can't hear Jim.
I can't hear him either.
Okay. Okay. Well, he'll figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know if you're muted, Jim, or if you've got a problem.
So Lynn, can I just ask, am I standing in as a full member tonight?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
All right. So we did a site visit a few weeks back and checked out the proposed addition. Does the applicant have anything new that they would like to add this evening?
Yeah, I can give you a little review of where we're at
Okay.
and where we've been. Possibly for Kyle too, since he wasn't here last week or last month. As you know, I'm Mark Romano, and this is Karen Carlson of 165 Boston Road. And our project is to remove some existing structure at our house and add on an attachment, which will increase our total footprint approximately 50%. Our home is the smallest of all the abutters at 800 square feet of living area. And this new addition will provide much needed living space for our family, as well as secure protected storage for a small quantity of our personal vehicles. We don't run any kind of commercial activities in our home, nor are either of us employed in any kind of industry where that would be necessary. Plus, as you all know, it's obviously illegal in an R1 zone anyway. During the site visit, I hope you could see how unobtrusive the new footprint would be, as it's only 8 feet closer to the left side setback and 11 feet closer to the rear setback than the existing structures. The new proposed height from the slab to the peak of approximately 25 feet is only 25 feet higher than the existing garage. The height of this 1.5 story garage is the same or similar to most of the abutters. And all that are on Boston Road, which our house is. And I can show you this on the lot map, if you don't mind.
Please go ahead.
That one. All right,
Just give me 1 second.
not that one.
Nothing.
Not the first one you had.
Okay, just give me.
Hold on.
I'm sharing the right thing though, guys, right?
That's not what I'm looking for right now.
Bummer, okay.
Oh, you're doing that. I'm wondering why
Yeah,
mine
yeah.
disappeared. I was going to show it for you.
Okay.
Can I do that?
You can if you want to.
Yes, please. Yeah, okay. We were wondering what happened. All right,
Oh,
so
hold on. It's not sharing yet.
it's not. Host disabled me from
Oh.
sharing.
Yeah, I guess you can't share. Never mind.
Hang on, Chris.
Because that's going to be a problem.
Okay, should be all set. Try now.
Oh, where is my shares coming?
We're working on it. That one.
Is it sharing yet?
You don't see that, do you?
Why is it not sharing?
Okay.
I can go back and share that if you want, if it's the same thing, or unless you got a different one.
No, I'm looking for the basically the lot plan of the neighborhood,
It's not.
which we
Oh,
have, and it worked earlier today, but
here we go. This one.
try this. How about that?
Yeah, see it.
All right, you can see that. Okay. All right, so obviously yellow, that's my property, 165 Boston Road, which is a single story tiny ranch. Our neighbors to the side are just right here, number 6, that's a single story ranch. Number 8 right here is 1.5 stories. Number 9 across the street right here is technically a raised ranch, so that's 1.5. Number 7 here is a single story ranch. This lot right here is actually 3 lots, 1 home, which is 1.5 stories. 157 Boston Road, that's 1.5 stories. 166 is noted as 1.25, but they have a really nice garage behind their house, which is 1.5. 170 is 2 stories. And where am I? 173, that's another 2-story home. And my neighbor on the other side at 169 is also 1.5. You can close that. For instance, we put a lot of work into this house and this project and designed the structure to blend with the neighborhood with its dormered cape architecture. The old house will be reworked at the same time to bring it up to date with a more pleasing color siding and new windows and blend the new with the old. I also provided the board with a plan that illustrates the proposed driveway placement per your request. And I believe you also have some letters that I acquired.
Hey, thank you for answering.
Okay. Yes, we did get a few letters and the plan also. Are there any questions from the board members?
Not at this point. I think everything's clear.
All right. Is there anyone who would like to speak for or against this petition this evening?
All right. This is Glenn and Dale Coulter, 6 Bullet Lane, 170 Boston Road. Basically, you know, the project is one that really doesn't, in my opinion, and that of other neighbors in the area, really doesn't fit the neighborhood. Its design is huge in comparison to other properties. You know, you can look at footprints all day long, but when the building starts to go high in elevation, it takes on another life. And that's the issue that we really have. The footprint is fine. You know, we certainly wouldn't want to stand in the way of people try to improve their situation in life. But, you know, I think the difficulty I'm having is at 6 Bullard Lane, this building that's proposed is so tall in comparison to the elevations of other properties, particularly 6 Bullard Lane, that and it's close enough to the house at 6 Bullard Lane that it dwarfs everything in the neighborhood. You know, 25 feet, while it may be acceptable to, you know, zoning bylaws and all of that, or within the scope of zoning bylaws, you know, that was put together for properties that complied with the 2-acre minimum lot size, where, you know, there's a fair amount of distance between homes. And so a building that might be 25, 30, 35 feet doesn't seem like it's so big and tall. But when you put that type of height next to a building that's only, you know, frankly, I haven't even measured it, but it's probably 80 feet away, if it's that. You might as well, you feel like you're sitting in a sinkhole. And, you know, all the hard work that was put into building the home and in the community and all of that, and developing a neighborhood, sort of goes right out the window when you look out your Florida room windows and doors and see effectively almost a commercial garage building staring at you. And, you know, you can kind of shake your head at it, you know, but frankly, I mean, a 4-bay garage door staring, you know, whatever it is, 60, 80 feet away from my window is not a very pleasant view. You know, you guys claim to have care for the town of Sutton, care for the neighborhood and all of that. I got to tell you, that's not exhibiting a lot of care for the neighbors. It's big. And by the time you know, put your pad in and do everything else, the 25 feet probably becomes something towards 30 feet. I don't know where it is. But be that as it may, even 25 feet of elevation is a lot of wall. You can call it, you know, a story and a half. You can call it whatever you want. It's 2 stories.
It's not 2 stories.
It's 2 stories, and you might have a little bit of a cutoff in the second floor, but, you know, the peak goes right up there to 25 feet, and that's the wall I'm staring at. It's 25 feet. You know, you nod your head, but you know what? I got a wall of 4 garages, and then I got a wall above that of individual windows above each garage door. That's 2 floors. So, frankly, in my opinion, it doesn't fit the neighborhood. For primarily height reasons, I think you've done a good job in trying to be sensitive to, moving the structure back a couple of feet or whatever it is, 3 feet to accommodate the setback rules. Frankly, I worry that the driveway that you've proposed that goes towards the garage doors facing my property, I just feel that while you may put an asphalt driveway in that looks, I don't know, small, you're not going to negotiate that turn without swinging out into the grass or maybe adding on to the asphalt. It kind of boggles my mind why anyone would have plans for a structure this size on a half-acre lot, 0.6 of an acre lot. This size of building really is designed for Sutton's 2-acre minimum. It's, to me, it doesn't make sense. And, it's, you can say, well, it complies with laws, but boy, I'll tell you, it's pretty disheartening, to be in this town and have a piece of property that you're looking forward to moving into, only to stare at a 25-foot wall. I sent a letter to Lynn Dallin a few days ago and asked her if she would distribute it to the board members, which, goes into a bit more detail than I'm doing here, but and covers a lot more ground. I believe she also sent that to Mark and Karen. So, everyone's had the chance to read that, I believe, and, try to understand more of where my feelings lie and what I'm, trying to accomplish here. And it's not to shut Mark and Karen down. That's not the purpose, really. That's the least thing that we want to do. We'd prefer to be good neighbors and see them, flourish in the neighborhood. But I don't want to be the victim of their flourishing.
Is it okay if I provide my comment now?
Are you all set,
I
Glenn?
don't want to cut anyone off.
Yes, for now, thank you.
Yes, if you could just state your name for the record, please, your address.
Sure. My name is Ross Melgar Petrain. I live at 159 Boston Road. I don't have a problem with the project as is. I don't see that it would dwarf any buildings, and it is considerably higher than the property right next to it, but it actually brings the property more in line with my house. I'm directly across from Bullard Lane. So I think it would actually bring that house more close to the way that my house looks in the neighborhood. And I think in the long run, that would actually add property value to my home. So I just wanted to voice that I do support the project and I don't have a problem with it going forward as planned.
All right, thank you. Appreciate your comments.
No problem.
All right, does anybody have anything else to add this evening? Chris, no call-ins or anything like that?
Nope, looks quiet.
All right. If we have no new information, I'd entertain a motion to close the hearing.
Chairman,
Go ahead, Ron.
I have some comments to make about Mr. Coulter's comments as well, or pertaining to the letter that you might have read, if you'd like to hear them.
Okay, if you feel that would be beneficial.
If everybody has read that letter, I can tell you that the math is all wrong, for one. I don't know if you have it available to you all, but the percentages listed are not accurate. It's all blown out to make it look, well, big and terrible. For one, Glenn asked, why do we want to do this? Well, because we own the lot, and this is what we're moved here to do. You know, on the letter, it's not 275% of an increase in living area. It's 1.5 times the existing, which is, again, very small. And the height is not going to be 2 times that of our current. It's about 25 feet. And I'm pretty sure we've been very clear about this. Existing height is 15, and it's the same view outside that window right now. This is just going to be longer. The existing height is 15, new one would be 25. And pertaining to the driveway, well, the plan I submitted, it's 18 feet wide. He's 7 feet at its closest to the property line as shown on the drawing, not just a few inches. And the reason it wasn't on the original plan is because the driveway is not required to be outside the setback. And to remind everyone, the entire structure is outside of all the setbacks. And I know the turning radius of my personal vehicles, and I know what I can get into a door. There were no purposeful omissions from our application, as that letter stated. The height of the garage, it's from the slab to the peak. The drawing shows the foundation in the drawing. Nowhere near 30 feet. That's actually preposterous. But still a lot less than the 35 allowed. The pole demonstration at the site visit, even though that we were informed this visit was for visual inspection by the board, and there should be no discussion about with an abutter outside the hearing room, that still happened. But you can put that same pole up against the other abutters and see that they're the same. Like Ross said, if his house was right here, it would be that view of 25 feet. This is the only house that is a single story on Boston Road in the abutters. Let's see, there was one more thing. The similar size, there was some math there about the house being more than the average size of the abutters. Also not true. You're gonna open that file. Just to be clear, I can show you the abutters lists and the living area on each one of the houses in a moment.
Just give me 1 second.
It's on the right.
I know I got it. X out of this.
Yeah. All right. So this is our house at 165 from the assessor's town maps. And here's our living area, 800 square feet. And I can do this all around the neighborhood. 6 Bullard Lane, which is Glenn's rental home at over 1,000. 8 coming around the corner, which is a story and a half on the other side of the Coulter's rental house, is 1,380 living area. And keep going around the bend. This is 9, sorry, in case you missed that. Almost 1,600. And this actually goes on and on. In the end, get out of that. In the end, this house is still listed as 800, not I don't know, 1,509 or something like that. The average size of the living area of all the abutters is 1,509 square feet, twice what mine is. Anyway, that's for the most part all I have. We're not in a historic district. We appreciate Sutton history. We appreciate all history. We own a car from every decade since cars were invented, or have anyway. You know, the project isn't obtrusive to the neighborhood, as 13 abutters were given notice and only 12 are not opposed. In fact, several I've spoken to are in full support of the project. Thanks,
All
Jim.
right. Thank you. All right, I would entertain a motion then to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all those in favor, Chris,
Aye.
Jim?
That's not how it's spelled.
Kyle?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. We'll do a work session in a few minutes. Next up on the agenda, we have some meeting minutes from March. If everyone's had a chance to look at those.
Mr. Chairman, might we suggest to Mr. Maron that he phones in so we can hear him if there's discussion later?
And is a good idea.
He's occasionally vocal in these hearings, and I miss him. I want to hear that opinion. Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Not a problem. All right, so has everyone had a chance to look at the March meeting minutes?
Yes. You know it's August, right?
The minutes are from. She's had her
Just teasing
hand.
Lynn.
It's not trouble.
Sorry, yes.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from March.
I'll make that motion to approve and accept the March meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, Chris,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Jim? That's an aye. Rich?
Aye.
An aye for me as well. Hey, Lynn? Without Dan, are you taking notes or should we?
Yes, I'm taking,
Okay, without, because we don't have Dan.
yep, I'll take care of it.
Thank you, Lynn. All right, at this point, we could entertain a motion to open a work session on the 165 Boston Road application.
I'll make a motion to open a work session.
All right, we've got a motion. Kyle, second. All right, all those in favor, Chris,
Aye.
Jim, Kyle, Rich,
Aye.
aye as well. All right. So I'll entertain a motion on 165. The applicant seeks a special permit in accordance with section 7A2 as it pertains to section 1C 2D of the town Sutton zoning bylaws to permit the replacement of an existing garage with a 28 by 48 garage with living space above,
I'll make a motion to approve the permit.
as
And if,
requested.
and if you're on the phone, you'll have to mute yourself. Jim. I can get him.
If we haven't already, I'll second that motion.
All right, thank you. Do we have some discussion on this motion before us?
Hello?
Hello?
I think that's Jim.
Yep.
All right, Jim, we have a motion before us to grant the special permit. Is there any discussion from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing.
Thanks, Jim. Rich?
No, I think it's the classic, it's a classic situation between doing, what the homeowner wants to do, what the way the neighbor views it, the town bylaws, and I guess that's why we're all here is to work through that. So I think at first glance, it looks like it actually looks like an enormous project on a little tiny lot. And in fact, those were the words, single story tiny ranch. But in going through the analysis that that Mark went through, I think it brings the project into scale a little bit better for me anyway. It certainly still has a commercial feel to it when you look at the drawings. But, you know, Mr. Romano makes several valid points about the dimensions, about the size, about the fact that no one else, no other abutters are opposed to the project. So that was it. Just kind of talking through it aloud for myself.
Yeah, I thought it was good to walk around and see the other properties in comparison to Mr. Romano's. I do appreciate the fact that, you know, it's going to be hard to stare at, you know, garage doors or whatever. I don't know if there's anything that can be done for trees or shrubs to kind of make that a little bit better. But I think in looking at the neighborhood and looking at what his house will be, I think it kind of puts it in perspective, and I don't think it's an unfair ask.
All right, thank you. Kyle?
I have no problem with the project, looking at it, looking at the neighborhood around, and no issue here.
Okay. We should go through our special permit checklist. So we have in acting upon an application for a special permit, the board shall take into consideration, number one, the appropriateness of the specific site as a location for the use. So as we spoke, they're adding on some living space and a lot of garage space. But as far as I'm concerned, it's maybe large according to some of the other buildings in the area, but it is appropriate as far as I can see.
I'd agree with that.
I would agree.
Number two is the adequacy of public sewerage and water systems. He is going to have to tie on to public sewer as a proposed project will land in his existing septic system now. And I believe he's on town water already. Or he has an existing well. So water and sewer are indeed adequate. The effect of the developed use upon the neighborhood, certainly it is large in comparison as we spoke. But I think the board, at least I feel it won't have a detrimental effect. Everyone in agreement with that?
I'm in agreement with that.
I would agree.
Number four, whether there will be undue nuisance or a serious hazard to vehicles or pedestrians. I don't see that as a problem.
Nope.
And then five, whether adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed use, structure, or condition. It's just going to be more existing house and garage, so seems we'll have appropriate facilities. All right, that covers that. So we have a motion and a second to grant.
Conditions, Chairman?
Go ahead, Lynn.
Conditions as built, anything like that?
Yes. We'll grant, well, if we, if this, right, so
I guess
then.
I have a question, actually. If we were to condition, I mean, to have commercial use on the property, they have to come back for a special permit for that, right?
It's not zoned for commercial, so it cannot be used as commercial. You could certainly decision as well.
Okay. So we can also impose, in addition to the conditions specified for the following uses, such additional conditions can be specified in this bylaw as it finds reasonably appropriate to safeguard the neighborhood or otherwise serve the purpose of the bylaw, including but not limited to the following. Front side or rear yard greater than the minimum required by this bylaw. Screening, buffers, or planting strips, fences, or walls as specified by the board. Modification of the exterior appearance of the structures. Limitation upon size, number of occupants, method, and time of operation or extent of facilities. Regulation of the number and location of driveways or other traffic features. And off-street parking or loading or other special features beyond the minimum required by this bylaw. Those are some of the conditions, if we needed to, that we could add to it. In a decision letter, if this passes, we'll add on any conditions we feel necessary.
I mean, would it be unreasonable to look at adding some potential buffer to kind of obstruct the view a little bit from the Coulters? I mean, that seems to be a prime concern. I don't know, what do people think of that?
It's probably not a bad idea. Some screening might help soften the
Nice 10-foot arborvitaes would be nice.
Mhm.
Something along those lines. Mr. Chairman, I had another question for Mr. Romano. I had an audio issue before we got into the 5 criteria. What sort of lighting do you think you'll have on the 4-bay side? And will that be a nuisance? Certainly not from your living area, but will that be a nuisance to the neighbors on the backside of that garage area?
So am I open to talk now, Mr. Chairman?
If you could just answer that specific question.
Yeah. There is no lighting design, but in a structure like this, they would normally be like down pointing, and I hate to say it, the commercial like arched lamps pointing straight down at the door, not out. No floodlight, nothing like that's needed.
So for clarification, Mark, it'll be something that's attached to the building above each door?
That would be ideal, correct.
So you won't have any sort of street lights or parking lot lights or anything in the back?
Not a bit.
Okay. All right. I think that could be a condition too of any approval.
I was going to say the same. I mean, maybe we should potentially limit the lighting on that side so as to not try to get away from the commercial look for the neighbors. All right, any other input? Rich?
Oh, for me, no.
Yep,
Thank you. Yes.
All right, well, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of granting this special permit? Chris?
Aye.
Jim? Kyle?
Aye.
Rich?
Didn't hear anything about the conditions for some sort of buffer screening and the lighting. We're going to include that in approval.
Nah. Usually on decisions, we'll list all the conditions as
Okay.
built, all that.
Okay.
So
Very good. Then it's aye for me.
aye for me as well. All right. Lynn, you gonna write up the decision or? Okay. So as far as conditions go, we're obviously going
The
Go ahead, Lynn.
10-foot lighties and downward lighting at the garage doors. Did I get that right?
are we gonna
Very
allow
good.
lighting or would we prefer no lighting on the side?
I think you have to allow some kind of lighting.
Okay.
Downward facing is non-obtrusive normally, as long
Okay.
as it's not pointing out towards the neighbors.
Yeah, you have to have some
I
lighting
would
because
agree.
it gets dark at 4:30 in December.
Okay. Did you get that, Lynn? So we have arborvitae's, as-built, down-facing lighting. We're gonna note the sketch.
The latest sketch that was just submitted, correct, with the driveways?
Yes, with the driveway so that we can hold it to that driveway. I think we
All
should
And
Try
the
to keep,
architectural plans as well.
yes. Anything else? Anything else for conditions, anybody? You good, Lynn?
I'm good.
All right. I guess that's it. Do we have stuff for next month, Lynn?
No, you get the month off.
Woo.
Nice.
Paid vacation.
Tell my boss I get the whole month off.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the hearing.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Oh, I'll just say aye when it's my turn.
So Mark, I will mail out a copy of the decision. It was approved. And with the instructions, there's the 20-day appeal period. And once the town clerk has signed off that 20 days have passed, I'll have you file at the registry, and then you can move forward with your building permit. Okay?
All right, all those in favor of adjourning, Chris?
Aye.
Jim? Kyle?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Aye as well. All right, thank you, everyone.
That all.
See ya.
Enjoy the rest of the summer.